Hi, Ken Boyer from Garage Gurus. On behalf of FP Diesel, today I'd like to talk about putting together a piston and a rod assembly for a Cummins ISX engine. There's a few things I want to point out about the piston. It's an all-steel piston, so it meets the OE specifications. The second thing I want to point out is it has an arrow, and that arrow is to point towards the front of the engine so you can locate the piston correctly when you're assembling it. The third thing I want to point out is the valve pockets on the front. If you'll notice the valve pockets, there's 4 of them, but this valve pocket right here is deeper. It's about 75 thousandths deeper than the other 3 pockets. The reason that is this piston will fit both applications, either a dual cam engine or a single cam engine. So the dual cam engine required a deeper pocket for one of the valves. For the single cam, the same piston will fit. So we're working on a single cam engine, but you'll notice that when we go to put the piston together with the rod, that deep pocket will make a difference on how it is located on the rod. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I need to do is go ahead and install the piston retaining ring on one side of the piston. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in and slip it inside the ring into the gap. I'm going to make sure it's seated in that gap, and then if you'll notice, I've got that ring at the 12 o'clock position. It looks 6 o'clock here, but it's at the 12 o'clock position. I want that gap towards the top, and that way there's no flexing of that ring possible and have it fail and actually come loose or break. So let's talk about orienting the piston onto the connecting rod. So if you look here, you'll see the locking tab for the bearing. We can grab the old bearing here and show real quick, but we know what it is. There's the locking tab for the bearing shell itself. The reason why I'm pointing that out is we talked earlier about the deep pocket for the valve, and basically when this piston is installed on the rod, you want that locking tab to be opposite of the deep pocket. So basically I'm just going to flip that piston right over. I've got the deep pocket on my side right here, and I've got the locking tab on that side, and that's how the rod and the piston should be assembled. Okay, so now it's time to go ahead and put the piston and the rod together. So I've taken the liberty of lubricating the inside of the rod bore here for the pin. I've got both of the bores and the piston lubricated, and I've lubricated the pin. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the piston up and get it ready. If you remember, I've got one retaining ring on one side. So I'm going to go ahead and line it up and set the piston in. Now I can move the piston back and forth. It's moving nicely. It's lubricated, so it should move. But if you ever have difficulty putting that pin in where you need a hammer to put that pin in, stop. You should never have to beat a piston pin into a piston. So I'm going to hold it right there and go ahead and wipe my hands real quick. I'm going to go ahead and install the pin retaining ring in. I'm going to do it at the 12 o'clock position. I'm going to set it in place, make sure it's good to go, and the piston and the rod are now assembled. All right, so now it's time to go ahead and install the piston rings on the piston. So I'm going to start off with the oil ring. The first thing I want to point out is that the expander ring for the oil ring has a little bit of white paint right there. That white paint indicates 180 degrees from the gap of the expander ring. So I'm going to go ahead and put this ring on and put the expander ring down. I have that white paint facing me, and I'm going to attempt to put these rings on with the piston in a vertical position. Now Cummins in their manual says to install it with the piston in a horizontal position, but for demonstration purposes, I'm going to do it this way so we can see it a little bit better. So I'm going to go ahead and install the expansion ring. So now I'm putting on the oil ring. And when I'm done, as I had mentioned, the white mark or the white paint on the oil expansion ring should line up with the gap on the oil ring. Okay, so I got the oil ring in place. As you can see, the white paint is showing in the gap of the oil ring. And I know that 180 degrees from that is the gap for the expansion ring, so they're 180 degrees apart. So I know I have those 2 rings installed correctly. So the next ring I want to put on is the second ring. And on this ring, you'll notice it's a square ring, and it's got a chamfer or an angle cut here on the inside, and that angle cut goes up. So when you're installing it, you don't want to overexpand the ring, so just get it on there wide enough to fit in to get over the piston. And with the angle facing up, there's the second ring installed. In order to install the top ring, the compression ring, it has a mark on it that says up. So we're going to make sure that we face it up. Don't overexpand it. And go ahead and put it in place. And now all 3 rings are installed. So the next thing I want to do is to make sure that I stagger or I index each one of those rings 120 degrees apart from each other. So I'm going to stagger the gaps around the back side here for the oil ring. I've got the second ring pretty much facing me, and then the top ring is going to be on this side, facing forward. So I'm 120 degrees apart from each other. And you never want to put that gap above the piston pin itself. You want to make sure that the gaps are 120 degrees apart, not over the piston pin. And once that's completed, that piston is ready to install. If you don't get the gaps correct, or leave them all lined up, or just don't set them correctly, the rings are going to have a rough time to seat. So you need to make sure that you gap them out correctly. But right now, that piston's ready to be installed. I hope you found this video helpful. I'm Ken Boyer from Garage Gurus. For more information about FP Diesel, visit driveheavydutyparts.com. Thanks for watching.